and welcome back to Life and Style Relationship Wednesday. This is Pastor Chris Atema, your host. I know you've enjoyed yourself on Monday, on Retake, on Style My Wife, Style My Hubby, Crystal Okusa, and now we are on that segment. You know, I always look forward to this one because we get to go out over there. We've been doing a campus edition of Ask Pastor Chris this year. We get out there in the colleges, in the schools, in the community, and we talk to young people. They have so many questions to ask concerning relationship, and I have the privilege, the opportunity to answer those questions. Remember, if you want us to come to where you are, you want us to shoot this at your location, at your school, at your institution, write us an email, life and style, the and is the symbol, lifeandstyle@standardmedia.co.ke. lifeandstyle@standardmedia.co.ke. 22840 is our text message number. For everyone who's out there, the conversations are still going on, I know, on Twitter, but keep it right there with KTN Life and Style as your hashtag on Facebook too and on Instagram. You could also follow us on the social media platforms at KTN Life_Style. That is for Instagram and for Twitter, and then KTN Life and Style for Facebook. We are at the NIBS Technical College in the city center. That is along Biashara Street, I believe, yes, and Moya Avenue, just somewhere around there. And we are talking to the students this time again on Ask Pastor Chris. I'm very excited. I'm very ready for the questions that they do have. Well, you'll get to know much more about them as you watch them ask their questions. I'm going to go straight to this gentleman who has a question for me that has been burning.
I'm Chris Ofula. That makes me your namesake. So I have this question that
That's
I wanted
why you had to mention my name.
Yeah. Okay. I want to ask this question. Yeah. I'm into a relationship, and I think my partner is too nagging. And therefore, it's causing problems in the home because I find a number of times she's there checking on my phone calls. She wants to know who tweeted me. She wants to know who Facebooked me. She wants to know who sent me a message. So I think I don't find that one okay. So it has caused problems in the home, and I'm wondering, is it that I'm the one who is trying to be very secure with my documents, or maybe she's too nagging, and therefore it's causing problems within our relationship?
Well, your description is not so much of nagging, but it is more about insecurity. When somebody has got to keep on checking your stuff, there is insecurity, there's suspicion. That means that trust has been lost somewhere. And trust is usually lost for due to a lot of things. One, it could have been something that had happened, something that happened that broke that trust. It could also be that this person is just naturally insecure, so they do not feel like they belong or they measure up. It could be that they feel that there are other people who have a lot of influence around your life, or they are too close. There are people who have access more than they are comfortable with in your life. It could also mean that there's a breakdown in communication. There's information they don't get, and they really feel like they need to be getting that kind of information. So since it's not coming to them, then they feel like they need to dig it. So they probably feel there's a sense of secrecy, and it also would do with their mindset, because there are people who think, some ladies do believe that every man is doing something on the side. And if she grew up with that mindset, then everything that you would do that she doesn't understand confirms to her that there is somebody on the side. There are also those who just don't believe that you can have colleagues or workmates or friends who are ladies. And if there is any kind of a person like that in your life, there must be something else going on. So it's all based on their fears. And the fears could be, like I said, breaking of trust, communication, no information or something like that. So it is up to you now to begin to deal with her fears and her insecurities. And that is to allay those fears. What is it that she fears the most? What is it that she's trying to know that she doesn't know? What is it that is driving her to act in that way? If it is because she thinks that you are close to some people, you need to demystify that relationship or the relationship with the people. If she thinks that because you are close to somebody who you may say is a colleague, it may be somebody that you grew up with, whatever it is, if she thinks that that's a problem, one, then you need to demystify that. She needs to understand what is really the basis of this relationship. Because her fear would be the basis of relationship. Is it that these people are texting you too late? Is it that the content of their communication is also raising questions? Is it that your reaction towards these people, she sees like you're very open, you are very accommodative of those other people? Could it be that sometimes you don't even notice, but when you're on your phone, you're smiling a lot with people who are outside, then you're not smiling with her. There's all those kind of things that you need to deal with. So just check out what are the basis of her fears, and then try to allay those fears.
I'm Kate, and I'm in a serious relationship. And my guy...
Your face doesn't look serious. You're smiling.
Oh, God.
You're in a smiley relationship.
I don't have to be serious to show that I'm in a
Okay.
serious relationship.
All right.
So my guy, he wants to settle quickly.
All right.
Because he feels that it's his time to settle, and I'm not ready to settle yet. Because I feel like after school I have to at least to work and to enjoy a little bit, and I don't want to be closed up. So I'm wondering how to go about it.
Well, you cannot be boxed into settling in. You can't be boxed. Both of you have got to be ready. It's good that he has direction. Because again, there's some people who complain. They say, you know, I've related with this man for 6, 7 years. I don't know where he's taking me. At least this one is showing you where he wants to take you, the destination. It's just that you're not ready. But both of you will keep on talking about that, because most of the time, two people are not ready at the same time. One person feels ready, then the other person is not ready. Then they begin to talk about it. What is it that makes you feel that you want to be ready? Like you say, you feel you need to work a little bit. You feel you need to enjoy. So the definitions then of that enjoying, what is it? Because you could still enjoy with your partner. So what does it really mean? If you are committed to the relationship, then you having fun does not exclude your partner. That is my guess. You know, mostly when people say, I still want to have fun, it means that they still want to meet other people. But that is not the case with you. So it may more be like you still just feel like you want to have your own money, you want to have your own space. But you could have those discussions and still, as a couple, have that. You could still hang out and do all of that. But again, it's not something that somebody can box you into or should. If you have your doubts, that's all right, then you slow it down. You got to slow it down until you're ready. You're not breaking up the relationship, but you're just not ready, and they need to understand that you're not ready, and you don't want to make a rushed decision, because that's a lifetime decision that you're making. There's nothing wrong with you feeling like you're not ready.
How do you deal with a long-distance relationship?
In what way?
How do you survive it, you know, kind of thing?
Well, long-distance relationship is like any other relationship, apart from the fact that it takes more work to work it, because you don't have the benefit of having these people around you. So your communication is a question that we deal with, and I deal with a lot of times when I do ask Pastor Chris. So many people keep on asking the same question. It's just that the commitment levels are going to be higher. The levels of openness have got to be higher, because this person does not have the privilege or the opportunity to walk to where you are. They don't have lunch dates with you every day. They don't have access to your day-to-day life. So the person they're relying on to get to know what is happening is yourself. If you are in a long-distance relationship and you are not communicative, it's going to be complicated. Because then, in seeking information, they will start looking for other people to give them information. And that is where then they begin to bring up things, and it will be like, you are asking people about me. They will be forced to ask people about you because they're not getting anything from you. So in long distance, communication has got to be very open. People have got to be very vulnerable. They've got to be very committed, because there is the possibility of the distance creating a distance even between the two of you and your hearts. So to keep that going, it's communication. And the loyalty and the trust, you know, knowing that you have somebody, and the respect that you have for them that makes you feel like, I'm not going out with anybody else because there's somebody else on the other side. The loyalty and the trust. You don't have to snoop on them. They don't have to snoop on you. So just keep the communication lines very open and stay very committed.
I have this friend of mine. He's a guy. He's a bit older than me. He's my best friend. A few days ago, he requested to advance our friendship in that he wants I should choose between being his lover, or we should continue with our friendship as best friends. Now I was wondering, because I don't want to ruin this friendship, what should I do?
The question is, do you think that, the question would be, do you think that the two of you can move from just being friends to being in a relationship without it damaging both of you. Because some people work better as friends. The reason is there are no strings attached. As friends, you're free. So as friends, you meet everybody else's friends, you're free, you can speak about things, you can share your secrets, your struggles, you can share your pains, your fears, your insecurities. The moment people get into a relationship, then there are certain things they begin to protect, because it's like anything that they say may threaten the relationship. In friendship, there is just that element of freedom. You know, there's somebody I can talk to anytime, talk to them about anything, and not really care, because it won't really have consequences. But when it comes to the relationship place, then some things have consequences. You can go to a friend and tell your friend, I messed up, you know, I did this and I did this. I saw this other guy on this other side, I messed up. You can't easily say that to somebody that you're now relating with without putting pressure on your relationship. So the thing is, do you think that if you go to the next stage, you will still stay together? Or do you think that if you go to the next stage, there are the chances that you will lose even what you have? So is this person mature enough? Are you mature enough? Is this person able to handle that change? Are you able to handle that change? Are you able to go to the next level with them and not try to control them and keep the friendship as it has been and not try to be too protective over them? And are they willing to do the same thing? Because when you become an item, the rules change. So you need to talk about whether both of you are able to handle those changes, because the rules will change. And that's where now sometimes when people get into a relationship, they're wondering, we used to be fine when we were friends, because you didn't have fights when you were friends. Then you become lovers, and then you start having a lot of fights. It's because both of you are now protective of each other. So you got to weigh that. Just weigh the cost. See whether you're able to and you're willing to take the chances. Then you make a decision based on that.
Does someone having a relationship, a girl having a relationship with a much older guy, define that girl as a girl who has daddy issues?
Well, not all the time. Not all the time. But you see, to be honest, a husband is, in a sense, a daddy. In a sense. A man in a woman's life is a lot of things. He will be a friend. He will be a lover. He's also a father, in a sense, because he takes up the roles. That's the original intention, even in the Bible. He takes up the roles of a father to this woman. That's the reason why when a woman is passed on from her father, biological father, to her husband, then she drops the father's name and takes up the husband's name, because that becomes the new father. It's also the reason why the father, ideally, the father is the one who hands over the girl. And so he hands over to the person that replaces him, who is the husband. So every woman must find a father in the man in their lives, because the father is a protector, is a provider, he's a priest, he pronounces blessings over her. So every woman must find a father, whether that man is 3 years older than her, whether that man is 5 years older than her, or he's 10 years older than her. The roles that he plays must also be the roles of a father. So it's not really a bad thing to find somebody like that. But then the thing will always be, you know, the thing is, yes, what are my motives when I get into any kind of relationship? Any. Because people can have wrong motives with anybody. So I just need to be honest with myself. If that is where I found love, if that is where I find security, and that's what I need, really no big deal about it.
Is it possible to be in a relationship while in college and still make it in your studies?
Yes, it is possible to be in a relationship in college and make it in your studies if you understand balance. You know, relationships are emotional issues, and emotions rarely have control. Emotions flow like water, so you have to bring your emotions into control. You've got to bring them into check. What happens with most people is that they begin to get guided and driven by their passion, that they forget reason, because those two will always go against each other, emotions and reason. And you need your mind to stay in school as much as you need your heart to stay in a relationship. So at that particular point then, when you're in school, you know that school is priority. So your mind must prevail over your heart. Because at that point, you know you've got a short time, you've got 3 to 4 years in school, you need to do that and get over with it. The relationship is a lifetime thing, but the school is not a lifetime thing. The school is something that you will do for a while, and then you get done with. So if I have a task that requires me to concentrate for 2 years, and I have this person and I may have them for the whole of my lifetime, then I will concentrate on the 2 years first, because this one will be done, over with, and then I move on. But it doesn't mean that you break up the relationship. It's just that now they need to understand what stage you are at. You both understand where you are at. Then you manage your emotions. So you don't really try to drive a very serious relationship at that particular point, because you will feel like you need to take it to the next level and your hands are tied. So you just try to balance it out. You may not need to meet 5 times a day every day, because somewhere along the line you'll feel like, now we want to go to the next level, and then you have school tying you up. So you regulate it. The same way you have a timetable for your classes, you may need a timetable for how you meet up.
My question is about materialistics. You find that you fall in love with a girl. You decide that, no, I love you. I'm above 18, and I want to take you to my place. When I take you to my place, then you judge me by the background, forgetting that that place is not my place. It's my parents' place. So I've just introduced you to where I was born. How do you deal with that?
I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing that when you take somebody somewhere and you see their reaction, it's a good thing, because then it gives you a picture of who you're dealing with. It's a good thing. You know, you can't know each other very well sitting across the table having coffee. You need some real life experiences to bring out who somebody is. And sometimes it's not really that they're materialistic. Sometimes they have a lot of fears, also based on their own backgrounds or things that they have had, things that they have been told. And sometimes somebody's thinking, okay, if I get hooked up to this person, what does this mean to me? Ladies will always seek settlement and security. When she's thinking about settling, she's thinking about having a great sense of security. Like she doesn't want to have turbulence around her. So they will always have fears, especially concerning things like finances and all of that, because she's thinking, if I leave that place, I'm coming to live with this man. Are we going to meet our basic needs? Sometimes it's not really materialism. Sometimes it's just general fear, where they're thinking, can we pay our rents? When the babies come, can we take care of the babies? Because you see, they hear a lot of stories also. They're exposed to a lot of women who have been wounded, who have been broken, who have suffered, and sometimes there is a fear of not wanting to suffer. That means that then it is the responsibility of the man to begin to make this person not fear, by expressing his vision, by expressing his reality, by talking about where you want to go in life, by giving your passion, your dreams, by speaking about what you feel the future is going to be. And most of the time when women see that you have the passion and the drive and you're sure about where you're going, they will follow you regardless of where you are right now. Sometimes we don't communicate that. We don't communicate that because there's fear. So now you want to tell them things are going to get better because this is how I want to work. This is what I want to do. This is my plan for my life, and this is my plan for if you come into my life, this is what we are going to do. When they can have a clear direction of that and they see that you are convinced about where you want to go, the fears will go down. Sometimes it's not really that they're materialistic. Sometimes they're just afraid.
What does it take for someone to be in a relationship?
What does it take? They need to have a heart.
Not that.
They just need to have a heart. But they've got to be mature enough to own up for their decisions. Yeah, they've got to be mature enough to know what they're doing, because being in a relationship is a decision. It is, regardless of how you feel. You know, you could feel anything for anybody, but you make the choice to be with that person. So you must be mature enough to make your decisions and own up to your decisions. You must be comfortable with both your strengths and your weaknesses, because relationships will expose both your bright and dark sides, and you must be comfortable with that. You must be comfortable with the other person's bright and dark sides, because they're not coming in perfect. They're coming in with their own baggage, and you must be strong enough to deal with that. You must be comfortable to deal with certain people that have been in their life or will be in their life and will share space with you. You will need to know that you will not be the only person. No matter what they tell you that you're the only one in this world, you will know they've got siblings, they've got friends, they've got colleagues, they've got parents, they've got all kind of people. So you've got to be comfortable enough to fit in there and feel like you belong and feel like you are important, even though there's other people, and feel like you're not competing. Then you must feel like you're ready to give yourself, because in a relationship you actually go in to give. So you must feel like you're ready. Do you have enough to give somebody else? Time, energy, attention, affection. If you don't even have affection for yourself, if you don't pay attention to yourself, you may not have that for other people. So are you emotionally whole? Do you have enough love for yourself to love somebody else? Because if you go into a relationship and you're needy, then it might not really work for you. That is because if the other person is not giving at the level that you want to receive, you will feel frustrated. They will be thinking you're clingy. They will be thinking that you're too needy. They'll be thinking you're emotionally unstable. But you will not be looking at it like that. You'll be thinking that they're not satisfying you. So are you whole enough? If you've ever been in another relationship and then you were wounded or you broke up, your heart was, you've got heart issues, did you heal out of that? So there's those factors that you look at. Do you have the time to do that? If you're in school, do you have the time to split between your college and somebody else being in your life? Would you put up with the demands of somebody who wants to see you every time, wants to talk to you, who doesn't want you to talk to other people, somebody who will get upset because you hugged somebody in class and all that kind of stuff? So you count the cost.
I just want to move from my parents' place, but I go with what I feel is right. Sometimes I feel it's time, but then I feel there is another thing pulling me back. So how can I deal with that?
Well, you got to look at the reasons why you want to move out, or rather the reasons why you make the decisions that you make. I know when you talk about moving out, that's not the only decision that you battle with like that. That's just one of them. But you got to look at what really forms those decisions that you make. What really pushes you? Is it the need to show independence? You want to just break out of something that represents authority? Or is it that you're trying to seek freedom? Or is it that you're trying to grow and you feel like, I want to be in a place where I'm taking responsibility for my bills, for all this, so you feel that it offers you space for growth. When you can define why you make the decisions that you make, then you can evaluate those decisions. And then it will help you know how to make those decisions in the future. If you're just going out to prove a point, that's not a good thing. But if you want to grow, then what you got to do is go back, sit with your parents, say, you know what, I feel that I want to grow in certain other ways. And for me to do that, I feel I need to have my own place so that I want to learn how to take care of my bills. I want to learn how to work hard. I want to know how to balance my budget. I want to learn how to do this. With that, you also leave the door open for them to keep on mentoring you, because you have gone into kind of a school. But if you're walking out so that you shut them out, that's a very different thing altogether. So you got to define what is pushing you to make the decisions that you're making. Then you will be able to make better decisions out of that. All right. Well, this is all we had time for today. I've enjoyed myself again, just being here at the NIBS Technical College in the city center on Biashara Street, answering the questions that the students have been asking. Remember, if you want us to come to where you are, lifeandstyle@standardmedia.co.ke, that is the email address to use. The and is a symbol. lifeandstyle@standardmedia.co.ke. And write us also, text us, 22840 is our text message number. You could also follow us on our social media platforms at KTN_Life_Style for both Twitter and Instagram, and KTN Life and Style on Facebook. Follow me also, CJ Atemo, at CJ Atemo, that is on Twitter. Until next week, tomorrow, we have Inspiration Thursday, but until next week, have a lovely day. God bless you.